Ever since I can remember, entrepreneurship has always been my dream. I guess that's just the way I was brought up with my dad being an entrepreneur, and he always got a thrill and so much fulfillment in following his passion, and I admired that, and I admired the belief he had in himself. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened, but I got comfortable. And I stopped dreaming, and I stopped believing, and I just stuck with the traditional 9 to 5. And then I would drink from 5 to 9, drown my sorrows from not living a fulfilled life, and I didn't question it because, well, everybody else was doing it. My friends, my colleagues, so I didn't question that I was not following my dream. But you know what, inside me, and maybe inside you as well, there was this little voice. It's a nagging voice. It's more like a whisper that just kept saying to me, this can't be it. There's something more here for you to do. This cannot be it. But I suppressed that voice because nobody else's voice was speaking like that. Nobody else was speaking like that. It was always the 9 to 5, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, living for the weekend because the weekend was the only fulfilling part of their day. And I thought that can't be it. And then life, in her infinite wisdom, gave me a rude wake-up call. It was not a nice call. It was the kind of call that starts with the, what the hell do you think you are doing with your life? No hellos, no highs, no niceties, how are you doing? No. Life got straight to the point. Phoned me up and said, Lawrence, you're getting retrenched. Deal with it. Now, there's a beautiful saying that says, you don't know how strong you are until strong is the only choice you have. That was my only choice. And I remember coming home after I heard the news, walking into my house and just thinking, how the hell am I going to tell my dad? I'm going to tell my mom, my friends. What are people going to think of me? My confidence was shot. My world was rocked, and I just kept asking myself, am I good enough? Can I do this? If this business doesn't want me, what business will? But that nagging little voice, that whisper, that voice that I'd suppressed for so long spoke a little louder, spoke a bit stronger, spoke a bit more hopeful, spoke with more confidence and said to me, finally. I thought that was very rude. My whole life has been rocked over, but no, you're going to say finally. Because I didn't see it back then, but that was the opportunity that I needed, the possibility of starting my own thing. And that's when I started my own business, and I had no idea how to start a business. I had no idea how to cold call. Oh my word, that's one of the worst tragedies in life. I remember when I had to do cold calls, I'd phone up my best friend Brad and I'd say, listen dude, I'm about to phone this school. Just tell me a few things you like about me because dude, I can't handle another rejection. Could you phone these people up, and I wasn't very refined in my approach. And I said, hi, my name's Lawrence and I'm looking for money. And they would say, yeah, so what are your services? I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out. I said, stop wasting my time. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. Listen, Brad, I just had another bad one. Okay, just pump up my confidence. And that just was the cycle. But when your house repayments are due and your car repayments are due and you need to put food on the table, you choose between cold calling and sitting on your bum. Cold calling looks like a pleasure because you only know how strong you are when strong is the only choice you have. And so I just kept going, I kept persevering, I kept making those cold calls as dreaded as they were, and some of those cold calls turned into meetings, and some of those meetings turned into a bit of business, and I figured out what service I could offer, what value I could offer. But it's not easy. And sometimes life will move on you. I think it was Les Brown that said, sometimes in life, when you don't have the courage or insight to know that you have outgrown a situation, life will move on you. It's exactly what happened with me. I'd outgrown the 9 to 5. I'd outgrown being an employee, and I'd now moved into a space where I was unemployable. And life moved on me. And I think the lesson in this is that when you've got that nagging little whisper of a voice that just says something like, this cannot be it, you need to listen to that. You need to take heed of that voice, because otherwise life will move on you, will give you that rude wake-up call. And sometimes I do wish that I could go back and stop myself from being retrenched and actually leave the corporate space and believe in myself and take that leap of faith. But life moved on me, and that's okay. So what I'm saying is, when you hear that nagging voice, that little voice that's soft, squeaky, maybe a little bit annoying, listen to what it has to say. I'd like to end off with another quote that says, if you want something bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you chase this something with all of your tenacity, strength and capacity, stern tenacity, hope, faith, confidence, and all of your love and belief, if neither sickness, pain of body or brain, coldness or poverty can stop you from this thing that you want, if dogged and grim, you besiege and beget it with determination, you will get it. Because one day, your life is going to flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. And when you know what that voice is saying to you, everything else becomes a secondary distraction. Follow your heart, chase your dreams, and live with purpose. If somebody was standing there next to that boy whispering and saying, you can't do this. You're only 10 years old. What do you think? You have the courage to do this, the strength to this? You can't do this. And that poor 10-year-old boy believing in himself he couldn't do